Welcome to Burn the Ship. My name is Ezra. I'm your host. This is a podcast where we connect entrepreneurs and professionals. And you guys being the future entrepreneurs, we want to help you connect with business owners that are like-minded. And without further ado, I want to let my guest introduce herself.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Ezra. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Adrian Villarreal, and I've been working in the restaurant industry for 23 years now.
Man, my lifetime.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's fun. Restaurant industry is fun, right? So I got into it because I like food.
Okay.
I like food. I actually I have an economics degree.
Okay.
But I never worked in economics, right?
You didn't like spreadsheets?
I mean, I have to like them now, right? It's also part of the restaurant industry. I don't mind them, but I wanted to do something, food, create stuff like that. It was always very interesting. So, I mean, I did get my economics degree, but right off the bat, I actually went to France and did like a little culinary diploma.
Really?
Started working in some kitchens over there, and eventually that brought me to Atlanta, like right off the bat. Like,
man, that's awesome. Adrian, all right, this is what we ask every one of our guests. The first question we always ask, tell us a story. Please let us know kind of where this journey of 23 years has kind of got you to where you are now.
Well, I guess, like I said, from economics, I knew I wanted to do something different, right? And, it changes as you go through life.
For sure.
I wanted to go back home, open a restaurant over there. It hasn't panned out yet, right?
Where are you from?
Mexico, Monterrey, Mexico.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So eventually I I went to Paris, studied a little over there, worked a little over there. And then in 2002, I came to Atlanta. My visa over there, I couldn't renew it anymore, so I had to make a choice. So I started looking at some options.
Right.
They put me in contact with this French chef that was working in Atlanta at that time. He ended up hiring me to come here. They're the ones that started, my work visas and all that stuff here in the United States. So I came here with him at that point. I brought my wife, Marcella. We came here in 2002 and started working for him. Awesome. I worked 5 years for him. Learned a lot about the industry and a lot of people in Atlanta.
Right.
And then, from there, I worked at a restaurant, a group called Concentrics. I helped open a tap restaurant, a gastropub up in Midtown.
I know exactly what that is.
So I worked with them. I actually opened it with Todd Ginsberg, which is one of the partners of the company that I work with now.
Okay.
He was the executive chef. I was his sous chef. So I worked there for a little bit. Worked there for 5 years, became the executive chef of that restaurant as well. Then from there, I opened another restaurant for them called The Spence. That one, we worked in conjunction with Richard Blaze, a famous chef, so opened that restaurant for them. And then from there, me and my wife decided that we were going to give it a shot and open our own restaurant called Real Tacos.
Oh, yeah.
So we opened that one in Midtown. At this point, we're 2015. Started that project, opened it basically 2016 is when we opened. And then did that for a couple of years. And in 2021, somebody contacted me. I got an offer to sell the brand and the business. So we thought about it. I was at a point where, we were doing very well. So either start growing it or something.
Right. Yeah.
And your family, kids, stuff like that. We said, you know what, let's let somebody take the
reins of it.
Take the reins. So we sold. And then I started working for the company I'm with now, which is Rye Restaurants. It's a fun company. We have a lot of different concepts.
Right.
The General Muir, Fred Senyala, at Croc Street Market. We have West Chapel Barbecue down at Summer Hill. TGM Bread, that we supply a lot of wholesale bread to a lot of the restaurants in Atlanta. It's a very fun company. So I started with them as their culinary director.
Okay.
And been working with them since then.
So, kind of, what is your, you've been in this space for a long time. Also, there's a Real Tacos right down the road.
Yeah.
Superb.
They're doing a great job.
Some quesadilla tacos for sure, always.
This big quesadilla, like pizza style.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But no, kind of what's your favorite part of the restaurant industry? You know, everything day to day, like you, especially your feet being on the ground, you know, inside of your group. What, the day to day operations. You like operating, or do you like the cooking? You know, the satisfaction. What?
Well, I definitely like the cooking, right? Like, I'm always very happy to prep and cook and events and stuff like that. There's many aspects in the restaurant industry that, I mean, if you stay somewhere for 23 years, there's a lot of things that you enjoy, right?
Right.
I do enjoy the camaraderie that you get working with people in the kitchen. You meet a lot of
Different people.
yeah, a lot of different people. You get to make a lot of relationships throughout the years. So I mean that part's fun. Also like creating something or helping or being part of something that's created for guests that come in through your door, and giving them the satisfaction of that meal, or them coming in with friends. Many meals. We all have a lot of meals that mean so much for us throughout our lives, right?
Right. It's more than just a meal; it's an experience.
Well, yeah. I mean, some meals were just gonna be a meal, but every once in a while, like some of my fondest memories are some specific places that we ate.
For sure.
Right.
For sure. I agree.
Yeah. So I enjoy knowing that I'm part of that for sure. So that part's fun. The working with people is fun. The different things coming at you every day is fun. It's exciting, right? When we're doing it, it's still to this day, right? If we're doing a big event, that I'm more hands-on because the restaurants need to operate and need their teams there.
Right.
And we're getting ready, and it's a lot of work, and then maybe you put in 14 hours that day to make sure all the food's ready. But that excitement before the event starts, and then like putting out the food and how it feels after, it's still very exciting.
Right. Which is awesome. I get that instant sense of gratification almost,
Yeah, for sure.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
It warms you up a little bit. It's helping people, and you're getting to have fun doing it, which is, after 23 years, the
100%.
fact that you're still having a good time doing it means you're in the right place.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean? God's got you in the right spot.
Yeah, I guess if I think about it, it's like I like the why of things too, right? So I think that's why I like cooking, like figuring out, like seeing new things, or figuring out the why of like this product turns into that product, or why are our sales this way, or why are our costs this way? Like trying to drill down and figuring out like that why, what makes people tick. It's always exciting for me, or why this recipe came out right or not. It's exciting for me. So
For sure.
yeah.
Okay. I like that. No,
Yeah.
That's a different point of view.
Yeah.
Definitely, for sure. I like that a ton. What did you do, when you first started, what did you do really good? What was like the one thing that you could always lean on?
I mean, I guess I was always, I don't know, if anything stood out was probably, I could cook. I think I had a good palate flavor profile, right? So I know I can work hard, put in the time and the dedication. I think like it's very easy to get singular focus. Like when you're working on a specific task, the rest of the stuff falls away. I mean, sometimes that might get me in trouble in some areas, but
You're not the only one.
Yeah, but like focusing on something, like working till that's done, or making sure it comes out the way it has to do. Like, it just, there's a lot of people that have a lot of great qualities, but like caring of the result is a very important one. And as weird as it sounds, not everybody has that, right? Some people just maybe want to get something done.
For sure.
But like the drive to get something done, plus also caring about the result of it, I think it's important. And that's always, I think, been a positive. I mean, it's weird to say, but like I'll say it about myself, right?
I agree, yeah, for sure. Because we're asking about you, it's all good to say on
so,
that one.
So I think that's like working hard and caring about the results, stuff like that. I think
for sure,
it's been a good driver.
People can, I guess, relate to that very well, just because we're all very self-driven people, but not everybody is that. Some people just push to get it out, because they'll whatever, they don't care about the result, they just care about saying I did this. The result matters way more than just doing it.
I mean, even when I'm not at work, right? It's so hard for my head not to be thinking of a current problem, right, or a current issue, or a dish or something. Like maybe too much information, but like for me to sleep, I need noise.
Yeah.
Right? Because if not, TV, music, or whatever. Because if not, my head just spins and spins on that. Sometimes that singular focus on whatever is going on at that time.
Right.
I mean, I like playing that. I do like planning ahead and being organized. I'm that type of person for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's go time for something, it's just like it drives. It's in there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely I'm the same way. I can't sleep unless TV's on. I gotta have some type of noise on for sure.
Yeah.
But no, what's your favorite dish to cook?
I don't know. That's a very tough question
Then
always to
stump
answer.
them on that one.
Because it's hard, right? It depends on your mood. It's like what's the best song to listen to. It's so hard, right? I mean, I have some favorites and some go-tos.
That is a hard rebuttal right there. That is a hard rebuttal right there.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you feel like doing something very intricate and delicate, and that's gonna be time consuming. And sometimes you just want like something hearty, or I don't know, like with a work schedule and family schedule, stuff like that. Some of my favorite meals are like one pot dishes, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll cook a jambalaya easily, or a picadillo or something like that, where it's like all in one pot, you have a full meal. That's very enjoyable.
Okay.
But for work, it's sometimes different, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying at work. What's your favorite one to cook when you're in the office?
Well, yes. I mean, we have a big team throughout all the restaurants that do the day-to-day cooks, right? But I love a lot of the stuff we do, like the pastrami that we do in our general meals. I mean, I don't think there's a better one in the city, right?
That's awesome.
When we're hitting it perfect, it's great. Or I love our barbecue joint. It's so good as well. Like that brisket, the smoked brisket that we do. Again, the days, either we have some very good brisket days, and then we have some like excellent brisket days.
Oh yeah.
So when we hit it just right, again, I don't think I've had a better brisket.
Man, I'm gonna have to come through and see. Name all the locations that you guys are currently running.
So Woodchapel Barbecue at Summer Hill. That's our barbecue spot. Then if we move to Krog Street Market, we have two concepts there.
Okay.
Yala, which is sort of like a Mediterranean cuisine.
Okay.
And Fred's, which, I mean, obviously it's one of the more popular brands. We do like cheesesteaks and burgers and stuff like that. It's very popular.
Fred's is very, very good.
Yes, it's very popular. They just got a Gourmet Bib nomination from the Michelin Guide.
Really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I mean, it's well deserved. I mean, it's great food for great value. That's that's what they got.
It's super not super expensive, and it's good food, man. It really is.
So we have that one. Then we have the General Mirrors, which we have both of them at Emery Point, and then we have the one at City Springs. And like I joined to the General Mirror at Emery Point. We have a TGM bread.
Okay.
We actually sell retail and wholesale.
Really?
So a lot of the restaurants in the city carry our bread, but we also hit Grant Farmers Market on Sundays. We hit Peachtree Road Farmers Market on Saturdays. The market is closed, but it's about to open in March. So you can get our product right there.
Man, that's awesome.
And we have West Egg Cafe up on Howell Mill. I mean, that one, like I said, 2004 is an institution.
That's the
right?
That's the OG right there.
Yeah, that's the OG. It's like we like to say that's where some of the business deals in Atlanta get made, right? It's very like lunch and stuff like that. It's a cool little place, yeah.
For sure, lunch and network place.
Yeah, it's definitely a good networking place for sure.
That's awesome. So that's all you guys' locations right there here in the city.
I did Fred's, Woodchapel, TGM Bread. We did Krog, Yala. I think I covered them all.
Cool, and then it's crazy though, because like all the different food verticals that you guys are in out of all those locations, everything's different. None of it's the same. Like you said, Mediterranean to Philly cheesesteak to barbecue to bread. Like that's a big variety. You know what I mean?
It is a big variety. Well, it's so I mean, there's many different types of ways to grow restaurant groups and stuff like that, right? You have the ones that like the guys that bought Real Tacos for me that their growth is just replicating the brand that they bought, and they're excellent at it, and they're doing a great job in atmosphere and stuff like that. Some other restaurant you just go different concepts, right? So instead of trying to hit all the different markets, it's more like bring people to you wherever you are in the city, and then try to fill. I mean, we try to be like like the gold standard of whatever we're doing, right? Like,
Right.
I mean, our goal is to be the best cheesesteak in the city for Fred's.
For sure.
The best pastrami sandwich for the General Mirror or Reuben or whatever, right? It's like we try to set the bar, and we believe if you're that, like, people come to you, right? Rather than trying to hit all their neighborhoods.
1,000%, man. 1,000%.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
'Cause you
best
got the
breakfast
best stuff.
place, or-
And even if you got the best stuff, you ain't got the best stuff. You claim it. They're gonna come looking just because they got everybody wants a piece of it first to find out. You
There's
know?
public transportation. There's cars. I mean,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah,
get
and
there.
thankfully, everything's in the city too of Atlanta, where
Yeah.
you can hop right off a train somewhere, you
Yeah.
can hop right off the bus, and
Yeah,
go
yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
What when you first started, what would you go back and kind of help yourself with? What were you not very good at when you first started?
The I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to pinpoint, right? Because I mean, when you're starting, you don't know anything, right? It's
Very
like,
true.
I mean, if I could endow myself with all the knowledge I have now back then, yeah, it'd be great.
Awesome.
It'd be easy peasy, right? But so I don't know, everything I could. You just pick up things throughout the time, right?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, people skills. It's very important, and I guess when you're a younger chef, I think the one thing that you don't get, it'd be good to get, is like you get into it because of the food, but what's the end goal, right? Is the people,
Right.
It's still a people business, right? You're not cooking to throw things out the window. You're cooking things so you make people happy, and seeing and being able to see that goal, it's important. And I think if my younger self is like, hey, remember, the goal is to make beautiful food and execute, because, like I said, that drive is in me. But the food means something after. It's not just the creation. So I think that, like, having that hospitality side sooner, I think would be a positive thing for sure.
Right. So what you're kind of saying is that you felt like you lacked on that hospitality side when you first got in there.
Well, you
Like,
don't.
you were just cooking to cook.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. It's not cooking to cook. It's cooking to do the best dish possible, which it has value and merit.
For sure.
But not to lose sight of. I mean, if you're gonna do something that's the best and tastiest or whatever, but nobody wants to eat it, what's the point, right?
Very
So,
true.
so keep that in mind when you're creating a dish. Or, I mean, obviously, when you're starting, I'm not creating a dish. I'm just part of somebody else's dish.
Right.
But not losing sight of what we're trying to do as a restaurant. It's not just create to create; it's create to get to somebody.
Right. So now in your side, that kind of leads me right, kind of segued me right into my question. But, do you get any of kind of leeway with kind of making dishes at any of the new spots?
No, I mean, well, yeah, we definitely do.
You get some customization, like, of your own dish.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, the tried and true things you try to always leave. It's always a balance in a restaurant, right? Whenever you want to try new things and put new things on, you don't want to alienate the people that already like what you're doing, right? So, if you find a better way, or like in me particular through my partners, there's definitely leeway if I see something that should be different, or nowadays should be different, or a process or something.
Yeah.
Right. I
That's
have open doors. There's some more sensitive things that we always gonna discuss as a group, and Steve's that's the direction we want to do, right? But specials and stuff like that, it varies store to store. Like, Fred's might be a little more rigid, and then Wood Chapel, it's a little more playful.
Okay.
So it's easier to put stuff like that. I think the tricky thing of the position where I'm at is, it's not all the places are the same. Not all the teams are the same. So it's figuring out what support is needed for what team, right?
Right.
So some teams, maybe I give them some leeway and creativity where they can come up with some specials and stuff like that, and they have my trust, or we trial and error some stuff, and they have that leeway. For other teams, maybe I'm a little more the lead on those things. But working with the partners for a long time, and I've known some of them for many, many years throughout the industry. So yeah, there's a level of trust and stuff like that to change stuff, or to bring new stuff, or change menus and stuff like that, for sure.
Man, that's awesome. And kind of, that gave me another great question to ask too, is, man, how hard is it dealing with, there's 5, 6 different places with 5, 6 different teams.
It, it depends on the time of the year.
We're people. We're personalities clash around everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, having those soft skills to try to mediate everybody's specific skills. I mean, it can be tough and taxing sometimes, right? But if you truly care about the team members and their happiness and their well-being, it's just part of it, right? So it's caring about the business, caring about the people, and trying to do the best, right? If it's not working out for the business, it's not gonna work out for the people. So the business comes first, but it's important that to give people the environments where they can grow and thrive as well.
Exactly,
right?
yeah, man, exactly. Yeah. I love that. And then last thing I got for you is, where the illusion burn the ship came from?
No, I guess no, not really.
So a Central American conquistador, Hernan Cortez, brings his armada fleet of ships. It could have been 10 ships, could have been 2 at that point in time.
Okay.
But his armada of ships, and they land, and he makes all of his men disassemble their ships and take all their everything away, burn all the burn everything that's for the boats, to symbolize we're not going back. And then we use the same sense in business: is we're gonna make it work here. We're gonna die trying to.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's a scary but a good way to go, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we found that illusion pretty good, and what it feel like to burn the ship. And for you, it was real tacos. So like, what it feel like to burn the ship when you went all in and did it?
I mean, yeah, it's scary. I mean, we put in all our savings. I mean, we didn't do it with investors, so it's a little scary. But again, I mean, I feel confident that I'm gonna put in the work needed to, and it's always a gamble to open a restaurant, but it worked out. So yeah, it felt great at the end.
And you've done it more than once. And what was it like? My next one is gonna be, what it feel like to burn the ship going from Mexico to Paris?
It's exciting.
That's a big change. You know what I mean? Like coming to the States or going to Mexico is a lot different, because we're very much
But it's exciting, right? Like that reference that says burning the ship it's great. Just burn it, move forward. It's like why do you want to go back?
That's awesome, man. That's awesome, everybody.
I love that.
Tell the people where to find you.
I mean, I'm at Rye Restaurants, so you can visit us in any of our locations that we talked about here. If you catch me there, say hi. And hope you enjoy our food.
Awesome guy. He might bite you though. Burn the ship, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.